The purpose of this video is to show how we will do our renderings when we have a building linked into a site, like we'd have with our commercial design. So I'm in the site plan model right now, and you can see that the building is present. Just like here. See, there it is. And so we don't need to do anything with the building model, the separate building model, but this is how I would go about it. Go to one of the elevations. And once the elevation appears, I would create a brand new level. But the level I want to go through the building roughly between level 1 and level 2. So and that's going to position us it'll give us a floor plan view through the building, basically. So I'm just going to call this camera level. And yes, I do want to rename the corresponding view. And now over in the project browser, I can click on camera level. And with this level view, I can create a camera. So for the purposes of this particular example, there's a kitchen roughly around here. And even though I can see the lights, I'm not too concerned about that. I could lower the level just bypassing those lights, but I'm going to leave them present right now. And I'm going to create a camera. I'm going to position the camera here, sort of go out beyond the building. Now, when we look at this camera, we're actually in the ceiling space. But remember, we have in our steering wheel an up-down feature. If we click on that, we can move down into the actual space. And I'm going to hit escape here. And I can also use the shift and the wheel to sort of rotate my view around just to customize it. So you can use all these in order to customize how it's going to look. Let's take a look at this in realistic mode just to see how things are looking. So take a moment or two. If I'm pleased with it, then I will go ahead and form the rendering. Now, the building itself has all the lights installed, but we have access to those lights here as a part of the linking. So, so when we do our rendering, we'll see the light source, or the light source will produce light. On this particular model, I don't believe that the lights display a whole lot, but we will see. As a matter of fact, I think I'll pause until this is complete. What the rendering looks like. You don't see the light fixtures quite so bright, but you can see their effect right around here. Okay. So, excuse me. So now that I have checked that out, I'm going to go back to hidden line. And if we want to check out the light source itself, just to make sure that the lights actually produce light, remember we go to our visibility graphics. So that's VG, go down our list till we get to our lighting fixtures, expand this, and click on light source. So we can see that there are light sources, and so I'll turn that off. Because we don't really need to see it. So now I'm going to do a rendering. And I'm going to use the region feature because I don't want to see it take forever. And so I'm going to go down to my my view control bar here, click on render. So I'm going to do a draft rendering. So I'm going to select region. Region is just gone to, you see the red square here. I'm just going to bring that up a bit, bring it down a bit. Set to draft. Exterior sun only will not activate the lights on the inside of the building. So I don't want to just have the sun only. I want sun and artificial lights. Now, I talked in theory about point or light groups. That is not going to work, unfortunately, because when you link in a building into another Revit file, you don't get to choose from any of the point or light groups that you may have created. So we just sort of have to live with this. Under sun settings, we can identify where the site is. Select still here. So we can identify where the site is. So let's click on this. And at some point, get a dialog box popping up. There we go. I'm just going to type in Dartmouth. I hope. Okay, I didn't take it. Here we go. Whoops. Gee whiz. There we go. Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. And take a look at, once this dialog box gets out of the way, the date is today, and we have about 1 p.m. That's fine. We're doing an interior rendering, so the ground plane really doesn't matter. Okay. So I'm going to start the rendering. And while this is rendering, I'm going to pause. All right, so this is what it looks like rendered. And it's kind of hard to really see the lights, what the lights are doing on the inside. But you can see outside the building what's going on. Now, I think that I would almost have guessed that maybe the lights are not working. But if I go to my render dialog box and I say, hey, I want interior, see those are all exterior views that I did, or renderings. Watch what the difference is with interior, sun, and artificial. And once again, while this is processing, I will pause. So that rendering took about 4 minutes, but you can see what the difference is. It must be, when they say interior, it must be a precedence as far as which light takes is more important than the other light. If we want to look at this at nighttime, what we can do is select interior, artificial only. Or we could go to the sun settings and just set the time to sometime at night. And so for the last rendering, use that, artificial only. Pausing again. So with the exterior light source turned off, then it looks the same as if it was nighttime. It seems to me that maybe the lights are not installed quite at the right level, because we should be able to see some lights in the ceiling, but the light does come through. So once we decided this is going to look the way we want it to look, we can then do another render, do the entire space. And then once you have your rendering completed, you can save it to the project, which adds it to a view in the project browser, or you can export it as its own separate file. that's how we do it.